Alright, so this is Lego set 76776. Fuck! Alright, so this is Lego set 76274. Batman with the Batmobile versus Harley Quinn and Mr. Freeze with 435 pieces, released in 2024 for $60. Now some people are already clicking off this video because $60 for only 400 pieces, it might be a little bit steep, but trust me, this set is really, really good. You just gotta stay and trust. Of course, first things first though, here are the instructions. I'm not really sure what happened there, but as you can see, just a basic render of the Batmobile, Harley Quinn, and Mr. Freeze. And you can build it with the virtual instructions on Lego Builder. And I just want to point this out, that Batman is actually walking the line, which I think is pretty funny. First minifigure we're going to look at is Batman. And because this is based on the animated series, it might look a little different than you're used to. But if we start on the cowl here, you can see it's the new dual molded helmet. Cowl, I mean. So it has the two colors. It's in black and white. And since the cowl is off, we can see that he's no longer wearing a headband like some of the other classic Lego Batmans. If we work our way down the torso, you can see the bat symbol. And his utility belt is more on his stomach, not on his waist, but I understand why they can't print it on the waist, because it would look a little weird shrunken down and put on the waist. But he does have dual molded legs, so I think that looks really, really cool. Going towards the back here, you can see he has a second expression, where he's a little upset. And this is the new, or I guess kind of new, cape that they're including. It's made out of rubber. And if we take off the cape, you can see there is a little bit of back printing. Not a whole lot going on, but you can see that the utility belt continues to the back, and I think that's always nice. Our second minifigure is Mr. Freeze. Now I think he looks really cool, because if you look at his head, his glasses kind of shine. Maybe that's because of the fishbowl on his head. Yeah, it is. But if we keep it on, it does look like it shines. Moving on to the torso, you can see that he has a little backpack or something that goes, maybe it's like an undershirt, and then the silver is like a armor print, because we all know Mr. Freeze likes to have on big pieces of armor. And his hands are actually that lavender color, which looks really, really nice. He does include a stud shooter with a 1x1 cylinder piece in it that I'm not going to shoot because I will lose it. And unfortunately his goggles don't go to the side of the head, but we all know Lego doesn't do that. And we already looked at back printing for a second, but there's not a lot going on back here, so how about we just move on. And last but not least, our third minifigure in the set is Harley Quinn. Now you can see it's kind of hard to get her all in frame because of that big goofy hammer. But this hammer here, if we just take this off, you can see there's a 2x2 plate that has printing on it. So we may get this Harley Quinn again in later sets. But moving on to Harley, you can see that she has that helmet that or it's not a helmet, but it's more like a hat, that she has in a lot of other minifigures. She does have two expressions, which is always nice to include. Moving on down to the torso, you can see she has the negative space in dark red on the sides of the hips. Moving down, you can see the print on the legs works well, and she does have toe printing, which is a surprise for Lego DC because they don't really try anymore. Moving on to the back, you can see about the same printing that's going on in the front. And no arm printing, but Harley in the show didn't really have anything on her arms, so I think it's excusable. And before we move on to the set itself, as a lot of Batmobiles have been including, you get this display stand, which has a sticker there on this big plate, which just tells you information. You can pause and read that now if you want. And this here disc spins, and that's really all you get for a stand. Here is the box, and if we look at the top left, you can see the Lego Batman logo. It's not officially Lego DC, but the DC logo is down there. But if we continue down, you can see it's 8+, just information about the set. You can see this really nice picture that they included with Harley Quinn, Mr. Freeze, and Batman. You can see that Mr. Freeze froze the wheels, it looks like. Nothing really going on this side or up top, but you do get the Mr. Freeze as the scale minifigure. If we flip it, As you can see, I must have taped over it. There's the back of the box, and as you can see, something a little unfortunate happened over here and over here. But, you know, the Lego Batman logo again. There's a set number, picture of the Batmobile on the display stand. Here's the play features that it includes. You can take off the missiles, and we'll talk about all this later, but you can turn the flames and lift up the cockpit. There's nothing really going on this side, so why don't we just look at the set. Here's the Batmobile, and I'm gonna always have to keep a hand on this because if I let go, it'll start rolling away. But because of that, you can see that the flames started to move, which I think is really cool how they did that. But anyway, you know, it just rolls like that. It's so cool. But on this side, because it is a Batmobile, there's no printing or anything, but I like how they did this to make it smoother. If we move to the front, you can see these stud shooters here that you can just pop off very easily. This 1x3 isn't supposed to come off, but there's a hole you can put your missiles in, put the stud shooters into. Sorry, I don't know why I keep saying missiles, but you can take both of them off to make it completely flat. On the front here, you can see the headlights. Those are stickers, unfortunately, but you know, and I like how they did this grill here. I think that looks nice. Moving on to this side, there's again, smooth and completely flat, but I think it looks nice. Moving on to the back here, we did already talk about how the thruster moves, and there are lights on the back, and this kind of makes a bat shape that Batman would have for his Batmobile. And if we lift this, you can see inside there's a lot of stickers. There's a 2x4 sloped brick in there that has a sticker, and 2 1x2 plates. And that is enough space for Batman to sit down. With only a little struggle, you can get Batman in there and close this up. And now Batman is completely sealed inside of the Batmobile. And that's really about it. That's really all I have to say about this set. But you might be asking yourself, why do you like this set so much? Because just look at it. It's our first all dark blue Batmobile. The other ones have been black or gray or have a little bit of red. I think this one just stands out among the other ones as, you know, obviously the animated series Batmobile, but it just looks very, very good on a shelf because it's a different color. And I think that really sells it for a lot of people. Now, you might argue that it's in the animated series, it could be black or it looks like blue, but because of the lighting and how the animation style, it, to me at least, looks dark blue. So, to wrap it up, I'm going to give the set a 9 out of 10. It might be a little bit too much, but I really like the set.